Welcome to part 3 of our Satisfactory experimental build tour. We're going to be dabbling in things that we've learnt and showing off some of our spaghetti as well as cool things. So I hope you enjoy this as much as we did creating it. So take it away past me with where it all began. Yeah, I suppose let's use the shooting star and go to where we began, where it all began. Shooting star. Off to the shooting star we go. Hyperchip exchange in full swing. I forgot. Let's just go straight ahead. We've got Pit Incorporated station. Oh, I think it's the backside because that's where on the radial you would be going to shoot yourself back. Encased beams. Yep, here we go. Space elevator over here.
Yeah.
So, I'll go first. This is to, space elevator, our original base. Offwards we go.
I'm going to give you a hot sec before I jump in, just so that we don't have what happened last time.
Yep. Okay, this is what happens when we go into the shooting star, climbing all the way up to the top, and we just hope we haven't, they haven't changed any of the launching parameters.
Or the map.
Or the.
Could you imagine if there was just a mountain in front of where?
Yeah. Oh no, we'll be fine. I also did not put any jetpack fuel in. That's hilarious. So I should be able to glide just towards the end. It'll be fine. So this is our original base from the air. So welcome to Chaos. So give us an introduction.
Look.
Auntruthsbeard on where we are.
Look, this is where we spawned in and first placed our HUD at the beginning of our adventure here. And so here we've got a bunch of legacy stuff, a bunch of spaghetti.
Yes. Look at the spaghetti. Let me get a bit of a view on this by going up a little bit. I think we even reorganized this to make it less spaghetti.
At least some point in the past, it was efficient spaghetti, and that's what matters, right? We would have spawned up here, I think.
We're up near the rock at the back. I'll show you where it is. So unless the rock does not exist anymore. Oh no, this rock right here. This is where we had the original HUD.
Yeah.
Was at this interesting location right here.
So here was basically. We knew kind of what we wanted to do. We wanted to be pretty ambitious, but first we needed to pretty much unlock everything and get, everything moving and get basic parts sorted before we managed to make anything super pretty. So we kind of always had the plan to kind of reposition ourselves somewhere more central, I think. So we picked the easy spot. Like, let's face it. There's a few pure nodes around here which made things easy for iron ore and copper. Absolutely.
This is definitely where we started. So
I mean there's lots of exciting things to see.
There's really not too much to this little section. It's just we made grids, we made things efficient, and we just sent them along the spaghetti train to link up to our what did Raven call it? Was the grand the Grand Conveyor Highway. This is what we called it. Yeah. We have factories spread out absolutely everywhere, as Auntruthsbeard was saying, with a bunch of different elements. But the main thing that we had was we wanted main arteries transporting all those materials from one location to another. So every time we're bypassing any of these factories, you will see it all generally linking up to one main wall of conveyor belts. Now once we maxed it out, we put a second or a third one on there of that different resource, but generally speaking, nothing's really maxed out. There is also in the distance here a what's it called, awesome sink, a sinking factory where all the excess from these lines, if they were to get backed up from our storage units over the other side of the map, they would then sink in there. We have other sinks and stuff. It gets pretty crazy, but like in short, it's just spaghetti over here. Let's follow Auntruth to one of our first things just to show you on the craziness of what happens in this game. So where are you?
You're right. I could see you. No, I can't.
Yep, I'm coming up through the trees. Oh, look who's also here. Raven, welcome. We're just sort of explaining this little section here.
Oh my goodness, I've remembered that's right, the conveyor belt of
The conveyor
doom.
belt highway. Oh, that's what it was called. We called it the conveyor highway of doom.
That's very right.
Yeah,
we should have a look at this little storage facility here too. So,
this took ages. Yes, looking to the left here.
did. Yeah. So this was our first storage facility, and it still is operational for kind of all your basic building block kind of parts. And this is what Orion was alluding to before with our awesome sync kind of factory. So here we have smart splitters that for any overflow of any part, it will send it to the awesome sync. So we have no inefficiencies in our production lines. And then further to that, these storage containers down here act as overflows for our central storage facility now. But it was initially our main storage location for all kind of early game parts. You can see that mostly it's your screws and your steel plates and silica and concrete and that kind of stuff. So it's all basic parts, but now it would be interesting to see if actually any of this is backed up here. It has too, so anything that is in here, it means that it's also full in our major storage facility.
A new tree that we've discovered, but it actually looks awesome inside. Like
Good.
This has given me ideas for our next build. Look at that.
I'm pretty sure the foliage resets at certain updates,
which is amazing.
I love it.
You would have cut that down, wouldn't you?
It was probably cut out initially.
But with the new update, like look at all the leaves that are falling and stuff. It's really pretty. Like while you're walking around, we should definitely make sure
that next build have around the nature. Well, we kind of tried to do that with our truck stop.
And also we did that with the treetop sanctuary, but we'll get to that. So there's a little bit of nature integration, but I think that's really what at least I want to be doing is doing some epic ones that are surrounding that. Now we're over here with Auntruthsbeard again, continuing on with the rest of this after the storage facility. Here
is the, what do we call it? The conveyor highway of doom elevator, I suppose.
Yeah, this is where it gets nuts. P.S. You gotta just take a moment to appreciate underneath the spaghetti.
Yeah.
Obviously,
but you don't see it when you're inside.
You don't see it when it's inside, but actually this isn't as bad spaghetti. You did kind of well. So
I don't think anything really touches anything else too bad in here.
No, there's a little bit of crossing over there, but we're not going to go investigate that. But the whole point is if you don't see it, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
This is our principle with everything in this game. If you do not see it looks like, if you don't see clipping, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So if we come up here, you can see, this is a highway of 3x4. Yeah, 3x4. So it's at 12.
Yep.
That takes all those basic parts back to the central storage. That's that one. We should hop over. Maybe this looks like
this looks like something.
Yeah.
Excuse the spaghetti hypertubes. There's
early game.
Early game. Down here, obviously, you've got early game oil over towards one of the first major factories that Auntruthsbeard built. The absolute nut.
You'll have to forgive me for suspending this in midair. I just wanted to make sure I had enough space. And again, it was very much about
there function. We go. Suspending it in midair. Well, just did it because why not?
Because I'm magic. That's why. Cool. So we have here fully load balanced iron ore coming in. This whole thing looks load balanced actually.
And look, he's even popped in some nice little additions to make it feel more like a factory to run through.
I was probably planning on doing something a little bit. This one also, so constructors load balanced as well, iron ore through to it'll be steel pipe. Again, what I didn't show in the last one are these steel beams to run the power over the top, keeping the power nice and neat. It's basically the only thing that I
see that.
Basically the only thing I did keep neat in the entire build.
And by the way, there is multiple levels of this same stuff over and over. So we just looked at the top level there, but the first time Auntruthsbeard did this, it just blew my mind. Like the sheer number of everything perfectly balanced. Absolutely beautiful. But you can see with a few walls, a couple of roofs, and maybe some supports, this factory could be easily turned into something just like a nice standard factory.
So it's 2,800 screws a minute.
2,800 screws a minute. Nuts. And we can see these output of screws is just disgusting. And the sheer amount of them going into awesome sinks also.
Yeah.
Like, this is nuts. And they're still backing up on the side there. A marvelous effort by Auntruthsbeard on some of our first mega factories that we produced. Just well done. The floating mega factory #1.
Yeah, I suppose I'll just say as well, if anyone's thinking of getting into Satisfactory, I mean, you just kind of need to decide what parameters you want to kind of play. You can have fun and work out, well, what rules do you want to set to yourself? Do you want everything to be looking architecturally and engineering-wise sound? Clearly, in places, this one does not. Early in the save, it was all a bit of a mess.
We've gotten to a stage now that we want to make things beautiful. We want to make things kind of line up and have that fun. But like, if you're just starting out, just do whatever it is you need to get used to the game. And like, using the grid makes it so much more easier to connect things up in the long run. But like, honestly, you figure out how to connect things up anyway. So
this was created when blueprints came out.
Yes.
We were experimenting with, okay, what are the limitations of blueprints? Can you just create these stacks of highways and, so we'll still have these saved somewhere.
It's good, but utilizing trains, I think, would save a lot of frame rate.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But anyway, it was cool to experiment with, and we'll a little bit further along though. There's one more thing that I'm keen to show you. Oh, ignore that clip. there's a clip.
Look at some of the clippage. Don't look at that. Whatever you do, avoid your eyes. No, what's it called? Avert your eyes.
Avert your eyes.
Avert your eyes from that. It didn't happen. We're back in power. So describe to us what this is.
So the purpose of this was to have the ability to pull out resources from all 4x4 lines on each side, so all 16 conveyors, and also input them if you want to.
Yes. Which is what's on this side right here, right?
Yeah, well, no, it's for both directions.
Oh, yes, I see that.
Again, the philosophy of what you don't see doesn't matter is being applied here, because inside each of these boxes...
Oh, shall we take off the roof?
Let's
just look at what
mass clippage.
Absolute chaos. Oh, that's disgusting. Look at it. But did it disturb you before we took off the roof? No. So that's the point, is it's all completely connected up to where it should be, so that it has a proper input and output. Also, directional too. So like, I think that's a win.
So that's that one. I think we should have a look at power.
Yes. The Grand Oil Power Station. This was Auntruthsbeard's baby to begin with, isn't that right?
Oil power, kind of, so mid-game. This is your mid-game sort of power situation.
Yeah.
So this was about kind of getting that scaling Right, yeah. And so we kind of want to let this last as long as possible for us. And it did a good job. We still rely on it to this day. Without it, I think our entire grid would fail.
Yeah, this draws quite a bit. So that was kind of what we learned in this section, and just building on those grander scales. So it was, you know, a nice little, what would you say, lamb chop shape power. Lamb chop power grid. But it worked, it did its job. And thank you for your service, Power Grid. Just up to the right here, we have a lot of water that's being sucked up to this section, which kind of was one of our first, well, it wasn't our, Auntruthsbeard here did most of the work on this one. I still don't understand how some of these systems work, which is hilarious because I know how a lot of the game works except for the entirety of aluminium. So that whole section has, the only thing I did do is the train station underneath. I made that work. So I'm responsible for the underneath, but everything on top is Auntruthsbeard's creation, and it is something else. This is the everything aluminium section of our build that kind of serviced us throughout that mid to late game.
Yeah, I mean, still, we again heavily rely on it for advanced.
All the conveyor belts, really.
All our conveyor belts.
Yeah, all these Mark 5s.
Not the Mark 6 ones.
Oh, is that new?
Yeah.
Oh, we have Mark 6 in 1.0.
Yeah,
How about that?
We do. But yeah, up until this morning when it was released, this was producing the most advanced conveyors for us. So aluminium ingots.
Yes.
To aluminium sheeting. Again, this all is load balanced. It is all load balanced. I think most of my stuff is load balanced.
Yeah, you were very good at making them all very efficient. So even though it kind of looks like a tiny bit of spaghetti, like there is a bit of organization there too, but it's definitely all load balanced. There is it's organized spaghetti. Like look at that. All those are exactly the same. I wouldn't even call it spaghetti. Yep. I would just call that beauty. Look at that. Beautiful squiggles. So it really just serviced a lot. And to the left underneath here, all of it then was then exported via my spaghetti down into my first ever train station, really. This was where we kind of began trains. We wanted to pull it in from a section, put it into a train station, and send it on its way all the way to the base, which we call the grand storage, or otherwise known as the cube.
So yeah, so that's this little section. I think we should go and have a look at nuclear power now.
Yeah, I suppose nuclear was one of the major elements that only Auntruthsbeard understands. Actually, that's the second section. I don't understand this, and I never learned how to do nuclear. I just completely relied on Auntruthsbeard to do this. Look at that.
Pretty. It's really pretty.
Oh, this one was not efficient. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Press the backwards button. All right, there we go. So this is how you utilize the lily pads. So this is the shooting star from way above. So let's all head into the shooting star to get over to nuclear. So the functionality of this place is just amazing. There's obviously we can cheat it and go to the different sections.
I slid.
What?
I slid.
Yeah, if you run and you crouch. Yeah.
Cool.
But the best part is if you hold the cup, it now shows you the tick on the cup.
Oh my goodness, it does.
All right, are you guys over at the power?
I see Peter Incorporated.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep going.
That's cool. What's that one?
That's that actually Auntruthsbeard, you need to show us Peter Incorporated. Hey Raven, to your left, you missed it.
What is Peter Incorporated?
Oh, there you are.
It's your biggest mega factory that you ever built.
Oh,
in the
yes.
desert.
I know. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Great.
Thank you so much for tuning into part 3 of our Satisfactory experimental build tour. Part 4 is just around the corner, so don't go anywhere. We'll be exploring more of our outposts and random factories around the world. So I will see you on part 4.